Yeah, and a bit of unnecessary damage goes on Furlan, maybe not communicating the facts quite as cleanly. I think he tried to jump over him, but
Just push.
timing. Unfortunate, very unfortunate indeed. Super quick flank here, yeah. Kalinka coming in from behind could be absolutely devastating.
This is the pissed around play again, and it's a nice compensation to the fact that they've been going long again and again and again. Ego has to keep some presence elsewhere on the map. XCOM Ego do, because you can see Kalinka's realized, all right, if we see presence out towards long, they're all long. I can just sprint through tunnels and full run through spawn. They won't be able to hear me, and then I'll be able to corral them. Last time they had this nice flank, it kind of got fumbled away, but we'll see if they can convert it this time for Hellraisers. A nice smoke, but they're just going to go straight through it. There's the spam. Furlan's caught. Everybody else is on the other side, and JLam's actually going to go through the smoke. This is so bold. The exchanges are even. MHL will catch that one, but it's just MHL. And unfortunately, this position without the bomb down is about as useful as, well, anything that's useless. Nothing comes to mind right now, but it's hard. It's hard to now play back in the site. That bomb is committed. It's down towards CT. As he peeks around, he should be a dead man, and there's no reason for anyone on Hellraisers to actually face.
Got a Northern English one for you, mate. A chocolate teapot.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, there you go. It's also another that gets traded out quite readily for the chocolate fire guard, as well. But yeah, chocolate teapot is a pretty good one. A lot of Yorkshire grandmothers probably pull that one out from time to time.
Thank you to the Yorkshire grandmothers.
That's all right. That's all right. Either way, XCOM Ego kind of falling flat to their own play style there, right? That we saw from them on their CT side against Gamer Legion. They were doing that an awful lot because Gamer Legion didn't have much presence anywhere else, and now XCOM Ego last time around were not punished when they were on their T side, but Hellraisers do so there. So yeah, indeed, maybe playing a bit of a default early on to make sure that that can't happen at least as quickly as it did, or keeping someone watching behind. It's very, very difficult, particularly when the guy gets a kill and then backs away. You've got that constant pressure, that constant thought in the back of your mind that if we start moving in, this guy could push, but then he could also not push, and we'd have someone waiting behind, so we're weaker on the actual attack itself. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So you really got to plug that hole early on, for sure, before Hellraisers start abusing it consistently.
Honestly, you even just need to default for a couple of rounds just to make it so they don't feel comfortable pushing. This time it's going to be a crunch on towards the B bomb safe, but there's 3 players in here. Should be a decent defense for them. Kalinka's going to find the first, looking for more, but it's Crushy instead to annihilate this take. Yes, they sacrificed Kalinka, but that is a more than even exchange. It's going to be Grubby, who gets caught out by JR as his smoke fades and he's left out in the open. It is a tied scoreline now, and Hellraisers have this. And for XCOM, again, this is the same thing we saw from them last map. It wound up working out because they just managed to bring through enough rounds on this T side, but it's a very one-dimensional T side. They go for their take, they figure out what they want to do, and they do it. And if it doesn't work out, if you have the positions to read them, tough. They've got no second read. They've got no adjustment there. There's no real flexibility to them, and it's problematic. There's going to be a pick from JR as he catches them going lower this time. And he'll just be able to fall away, kill for free. Nothing to really show for it. This one's just a pistol round for XCOM Ego, to be fair. But I need to see a bit of a change up. They need to start doing yoga, because they've got to get some flexibility in this roster.
Yeah, 100%. Like, day and night, honestly. It's going to become a problem against teams that realize it quickly, against teams that do watch a few of your games, a few of your demos and whatnot. Don't even really need to go all that deep. If Hellraisers were watching earlier on, they'd have a great feel of how XCOM Ego like to play things and able to exploit that, as they are doing at the moment. Oh, gap in the smoke, maybe intended, not quite sure, but it's looking good here for JR as he will hold things down, misses that final shot. Oh, okay, and Fika will take him down, so that's nice, but all the same, in with the 3K, in with a 4th round, AWP save, no harm, no foul, as it will be Hellraisers taking the lead.
As you've seen before, you can never let Fiku have too much space with that deagle. He's dangerous.
True.
But he only gets the one there. This I do like the adjustment from Hellraisers, and I really do think it's a read. I don't know whether they were just watching the game earlier, because if they were, they're making good reads based on it. But we've seen it a couple times. The timely aggression from Kalinka, the control, the way they're exerting it. Now it's going to be a face towards long. They're going to realize the player's here in a moment, but the flashbang's good. Forces JLam out, and he'll get caught. Now pressure might be onto Flarek as well, who's not having a great game. See what Flarek can do here. Backing off towards the side, he'll be able to readjust, but XCOMEGO, they've taken long control, and as we've seen before, they don't really move once this happens. But the difference is, they actually do have Fico towards Cat, and Fiku's going to be dead. So, back to the one-dimensional approach, everybody out towards long. As we see Kalinka come down lower and clear this out, we might see another flank out long as well. Kalinka's going to do it. Yeah, push top mid. Make sure that they have to be forced in towards the site. Just got to get a move on now, because they're hitting, and they're hitting quite quickly. And with only JR playing from Catwalk, he's going to get caught. Now that's a big problem. There should be a bomb plant, and they'll catch a player trying to boost over the smoke. This is going to be a bomb down now, and despite the flank coming in from Kalinka, it may not be worth much. He'll deal with MHL at least. So now he can apply the pressure from long, but he's got to make the individual move. Kalinka would need the 1v4 to be able to seal this deal. And I think he honestly might snatch that off and just go ahead and save it.
Yeah, not quite enough cash. I think it would be nice to have the one player saving. Flarich particularly poor at this point, and yeah, the AWP definitely nice to have. Groovy though has got other ideas. Quick flank coming in from him to make sure that the escape is difficult, not impossible, but certainly going to put a thorn in the side of Kalinka here. He's ready for it. Oh, he gets the tag, not quite able to find the kill. That is a bit of a shame, but the Molotov may well keep him at bay. Okay, I'm not.
He wanted that kill.
I respect the play, dude. I respect the play. I don't think he quite realized how far spread the Molotov was. We've all been there, though. We've all been there. It's all worth. It's all good.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll necessarily agree with you that 4750 investment was quite worth, but gotta get that last kill. Oh, feeling a bit foolish, maybe. Still, they will be able to get a buy up here, and for Ego, the bank hasn't built just yet. Look at this flank from Kalinka. It's been all about the flanks for Kalinka. Nobody's watching his way. He still can't get the kill, and he's actually dinked down. Now Frilling gets a kill on the B-site player. They've dealt with Kalinka in towards lower. This is a round that's likely already lost. This is big problems. The site's been taken. Flarich was going to try to get back in, but with a molly down with flashes in his face, there's no chance of it. And now Fiku's on the flank all the way over towards A. This round is done and dusted. Ego dealing with the early aggression correctly. That pinch from Hellraiser is dealt with. They just don't have enough teeth remaining to try and fight for the rest.
Yeah, I think XCOM they've really figured it out here. Actually, like super rigid style coming into things didn't work for them. It allowed Hellraisers to get back in because they were easy to read, and now they have indeed got a bit of pressure on different points of the map. And in this round and the previous, they just brute force and keep working their way in rather than sitting around hoping to catch off some aggression from the CT side. They're the ones being aggressive and being proactive and getting in the face of their opponents. It's really, really good stuff so far. Eliminating all the players as well, only losing one themselves. Really, really clean stuff. Really clean indeed, and able to secure the lead back, break the economy as well.
And honestly, the only difference they've done is they've expected that early aggression from Hellraisers, but also they've just left one player to lurk on the other side of the map. And I love it. That's all you need to do. You just need to show some sort of presence so they know they can't just push everything for free, and you put doubt in their minds. It's not a complicated change, but it's very effective here. The problem is they're going to fall back into this long take. MHL's going to watch top mid, at least for the moment, and he might catch one of these players coming through, but he's got the bomb, so he has to join this rotation at some point. Grubby seems like he wants to watch, but he was actually just playing bodyguard to the op, so this is again going to be the very straightforward long play. And I've got to say, I'm not a huge fan of this. Yes, it's just against the pistol, so it should be fine. It shouldn't be a problem. But for all you know, you're walking into a stack here. You've got no information. Fortunately for Hellraisers, the stack decided to push up mid, so they've got nothing. They've got nothing to show for this. It's going to be a bomb down. It's likely just going to be a play for exits. Maybe Kalinka will be able to get the Zeus off, which I'd be happy with. But otherwise, I think Ego are going to waltz right through this next round.
Yeah. Looking good from them, eh? Their Dust 2 is pretty nice. And actually adapting, I think that the issue was against Gamer Legion is like some of the rounds we saw were a bit rigid from them, but they had confidence in it. They stuck with it and didn't quite think that Gamer Legion could consistently beat them. Maybe looking internally and being like, the setup worked, the initial take worked. We were just a little aggressive on the post plant, or missed smoke, missed flash, or gotta check your corners, guys, or like things they could deal with within the game. Whereas Hellraisers seem to have gotten a read on the actual strategy itself, on the actual core play that they're going for.
Yeah.
And then XCOM have changed it up because they recognize, okay, they know how we like to play. We've got to change something here, at least for the next few rounds, to get a couple more back on the board.
I do like this adjustment. I'm with you. It's crashing out long. Oh my, does Furlan realize everyone's here? He's been blinded up a bit. A smoke's going to go down to give him space, but there are 3 players here. This classic XCOM long take. They cannot commit to it. It's going to be too costly for them. Furlan has somehow managed to avoid getting eliminated here. He spotted a lot of players, and he's actually going to get the better of JLam. Really nicely played here from Furlan. I'm not sure how he's managed to survive in this position, but they're going to leave him here, and they're going to back out. And this is great, because he's going to keep 2 players focused here. He just spotted a player hopping into pit. He's going to get out of here before the smokes fade. And if they find this kill on Crushy, it's all over. It's a B-site take with no problems whatsoever. Crushy has to win this duel. He won't do so as the smoke fades in an unfortunate time for him. So this round's over. Furlan's even going to catch the player hopping out mid-doors. It's all on to Flarich. He's just going to save this M4. It's the best he can possibly hope for, and what a clean round from XCOM. So, as you said, the adjustment, and it's a simple adjustment, right? It's just spread a little bit more. Spread a little bit more. But XCOM, they're not so rigid in their setup that they're just fully committed to it. And making that simple change allows them to prevent Hellraisers from getting the early aggression, from getting the flanks that they so desperately crave, and to really punish them. So I'm expecting this to now be, at worst, a 9-6 for XCOM Ego, and possibly even double digits once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really good from them, like, on the adjustment. I wasn't really expecting this, you know what I mean? That I thought they would indeed stay rigid and Hellraisers would have that read and would be able to continue to get the better of them. And now this is, to give you another northern phrase, where we split the wheat from the chaff.
Okay, that's a global phrase, I feel like.
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. I'm being a bit...
Too.
Okay, that's my bad. I mean, figured.
It's probably originally a northern phrase, because half of American phrases I mean, obviously, your language got imported.
Right.
So the roots are there. I always like...
I suppose anywhere they have wheat, right? It probably makes an appearance. I would imagine.
Separate that from the chaff. You know, the cream rises to the top is the other sort of phrase there.
Yeah. True, very true.
Milk. I've got all of my sort of nice phrases and idioms and pithisms come from my my southern grandmother, the Texas side of the family, right? Which a lot of those are Old English phrases adapted, like if wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. It's a good one.
Okay.
There's
there you go, man. There's a lot of depth to it, you know, all these cool phrases, and you know, the wise always seem to pull them out, you know. Got a phrase. There's some of those people, and it does tend to be grandmothers, have a phrase for everything, you know.
They do. It's cultural wisdom, right? Passed down through the ages in the form of nice sayings. Kalinka, it's time for the 1v5 R8 Ace. I'm ready for it. My body's ready for it. Are you ready for it, Harvey? Are you ready for the magic?
What? Yes. Always. Always. But I'm ever the realist. But we'll see. Give me one. And I'll be happy.
Oh,
man.
Not the one.
Can't even get that. It's a difficult gun to use, particularly at this level, right? Where everybody's like counter strafing and tapping you down at range and stuff, and you have to be like not only on point, but like on point ahead of time. You have to be able to see into the future, like where is this guy going to be stood in? You know, he's moved left, he's moved right, he's moved. You have to get it perfect, but. Yeah, I feel like that's maybe why people don't use the R8 so much anymore. That like 2 or 3 days where it was ridiculously OP is some of the most fun I have had in this game. It was incredible.
It was absurd. It was better than a rifle.
Yeah. Yeah. But unfortunately, since then, that's what they need to change next, man. Like, I don't care about the Krieg or the 5.7 or,
You want the R8 viable?
Yeah. At least a little bit to make it competitive with the Deeg. Because I think a lot of people are looking at the Deeg right now as being really, really strong. Where the economy's at, you can see a lot of Deagles coming out throughout a game, whether it's on just nothing but or a bit of armor with it. And I think the R8 would be nice change of pace. Ego going for a change of pace in this round, of course. Starting off a little slower, going for the contact over at long, but learning. They don't have 5 players at long. Now, sure, they lose one in a middle, but it keeps Hellraisers distracted. It keeps them all with other things to do. Flash coming in. Fiku completely blinded, just going for it. Oh, goodness. Furlan as well through the smoke, going to manage to find another, and JR's in with the quick flank this time around. Manages to get one, spots out a second. Gonna try and go for a wide swing here. I like this from him to get confident. Flash gonna come in, and yeah, Furlan's got to go wide for it. Oh, MHL. Big trade from him. And now leaving Kalinka with it all to do. He knows that there's one in towards ramp, but the guy at long is the main issue, and yeah, he was getting shot from 2 angles there. Not gonna happen. 9th round for XCOM Ego once again. Learning from previous mistakes. Looking good.
Looking like this is certainly going to be double digits, if not more. And it's very problematic for Hellraisers because you just don't necessarily give yourself the opportunity. Klink is going to go back to the R8. JR is actually buying into a little bit of a FAMAS here, and he's the only one really doing heavy lifting on his team, so maybe a bit of desperation creeping in there. But hopefully he's not going to wind up in a situation where he has to sacrifice capital into the next round. Kalinka! Just connect the bullet. Just connect the bullet. Justify the 3 different R8 purchases this game. Connect 1 bullet, even if it's not a kill. Come on. You got to get one. I believe, Kalinka. I've been believing. But my belief is starting to waver in the great R8 god. It feels like Valve's approach to weapon nerfing is like a sine wave, right? It's way too good. Then they nerf it to oblivion. It's way too bad. And then slowly the side wave's just going to shrink and shrink and shrink. And eventually maybe they'll get to that comfortable midpoint where it's actually just a viable gun.
Yeah. Be interested to see if they keep paying attention to the Krieg. Like in a genuine, the R8's a bit of a meme, but in a genuine conversation, like it would be really interesting. Because it's not even like the price change is kind of big, but I still think if teams would have recognized how strong it was, they would have pulled it out regardless of, and I mean they did, right? Because they changed the price and teams kept using it. So it's kind of an interesting story with the way the Org and the Krieg actually crept in. Oh, here we go though. Kalinka coming in from behind. He doesn't want to use his R8 anymore, and it's probably a wise decision because look what he's doing with the AK. Yeah. Oscarish can't get anything else after the one, and Hellraiser's actually just picking them apart there across the map, and then a quick flank coming in, catching them off guard.
It was the rare situation where Ego's spreading out really came back to punish them a little bit. Okay, I have a question for you. Why is Grubby still buying the Galil? They have a lot of money, Grubby. There's only 1 more round in this half. You have 8,800 in spare. This man prefers the Galil to the AK. That's an odd decision to me. Man could be buying an M249 if he wanted to. He could be buying multiple M249s because a teammate could drop one for him. But he's sticking to the Galil. There was even an extra AK down in spawn for Furlan. That's how much extra cash they have. I don't get this.
Maybe he knows something we don't, man. You know, we're talking about the meta of weapons and whatnot. Maybe he's trying to do something a bit different. I feel like the Galil could be kind of deadly if you learn to spray with it relatively well, right? Like, it's got more bullets and whatnot, and it's really cheap at the moment. But
I appreciate you trying to defend this decision for him, but
yeah, I'm doing my best, but it's also a little difficult to see. Maybe they're going to do a bit of this as well. But even then, you've got so much money, it doesn't matter. Like, I get the info play. I've got a Galil, let me go first, guys. But it's last round and a half, and you have enough money to buy an AK like 3 times over. Well, what are you going for? What is... Oh, the decision making here. J-Lam, that could have been devastating. He only gets 1. Grubby, with his trusty Galil, gets a frag, and then swaps across to an AK. I don't get it. Kalinka, meanwhile, coming in from behind, trying to put an end to all the madness. And Grubby gets a kill with it. He goes, hey, you know, this AK thing's not so bad, guys.
Wait, it
Maybe you
one-shot
should-
headshots?
you
Why
should
haven't I
give
been
it a
buying
go.
this the whole time? He's got the bomb at least, but he's got no health. Oh, if he had actually gotten that first shot onto JR, maybe a possibility here. Grubby's making a go of it. Certainly not. Certainly no way. He would take the ace clutch, and he's got no health, and Crushy will eventually crush the dream. It's a 6-9 half, which is actually a decent recovery for Hellraisers, considering how beat they were looking at the beginning. But it is going to still be a strong lead for Amigo. Big difference maker. We saw an impressive CT side from them the previous time we saw them play, but it's tough. You favor the T's, and especially with the way Hellraisers like to play this super aggressive style where they like to get flanks, they like to get cheeky, they like to get into fights and angles. I think they might do a better job of it now that they're swapped over to the aggressor side.
Yeah, I think so as well, right? Where slightly less reliance on the structure, on the reads and whatnot. They just weren't quite able to bounce back. I think they had that solid read very early on XCOM. And then once XCOM changed things up, they were really thrown for a loop on the Hellraiser side of things. And I feel like because you don't drive the pace as much, it can be kind of, particularly on a map like this, kind of difficult to actually adapt on that CT side. Because you really do have to be careful not to leave some of these more vulnerable areas open or weaker than usual. It's like if you get aggressive somewhere, it has to work. You have to find a kill even or two because you've just given up so much control. That is a nasty, nasty shot coming through from J-Lam to open us up. It's not a kill, but all the same, guys, he was in midair and now he's on 17 HP.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing with the Glock. I mean, that's as good as you can do, right? The Glock's not going to one-shot headshot, but hitting the goose shot as the player hops over with just a quick info peek. So punishing. And you can see Fuku's all the way back now. And he's a pistol god. So he's been a big piece for them in their pistol rounds. We'll see what he can do. Lots of damage has been done here. It's kind of death by 1,000 paper cuts at this point from the Glocks. MHL, though, going to deal the death blow. And there's Fiku again. You let him live. He's going to get 2. He's going to do the damage. So they should have finished him off if they had been able to. But, of course, he did back off, and it's going to work. Now Flarich has a 1v5, and, wow, 3 dinks have come through. Dinks are not kills, and he's still got to deal with them on the other side. MHL's pushed up as well. MHL kind of caught slipping there for a moment. Will be taken down. So aggression not necessarily effective, but you can see Fiku's now coming out long, or at least by the long doors, so there's going to be no easy quarter. 30 seconds, Flarich starts to get the bomb, has to get towards the site, and he's going to be fighting someone at every turn. There's the first spot. It might even prompt the push out, and indeed it does. Fiku's now hot in his trail, so there is a second timer in his head. 20 seconds. He's running out of time to even get towards the site, and Fiku will mercifully end the round. 3 kills for the man, despite the fact that he got dinked right off the bat. That is a heck of a pistol round.
Yeah, really managing to pull it back, and XCOM Ego pick up the second half where they left the first. Really looking good. So much energy. And yeah, Kalinka's really dedicating to it here.
He hasn't gotten a kill with it all game.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
There we go.
Oh, let's go.
Broke the drought. Broke the drought. There, it was all a payoff for that 1 kill. There we go,
Yeah,
Kalinka. You have justified it.
Now he types in all chat, haha, imagine dying to an R8.
You just gotta spam.
It's just all worth it. It's just all, that's all it was for. But it's now dangerous because he's gonna go, look guys, I just got a kill with it. So I'm gonna use it next game, by the way. And the rest of his team are like, please don't. Please don't. Either way, Rush coming in here, the MP9 cleaning up, the SMGs responding in kind. Mid to B split, really nice response, I think, in a round like this to get aggressive into the tunnels and make sure that it's kind of just a B or a mid-B play. Yeah, really messy recovery from Hellraisers, unfortunately, despite the R8 kill.
Despite the R8 kill.
Yeah.
He gets the 1. But yeah, I mean, once the bomb's isolated towards lower, they go for the double push in. They can condense angles with the SMG. It just gets so tough. Hellraiser's gonna buy up some pistols again. The R8 makes another appearance. I'm counting that 5 rounds now. It's either 4 or 5 rounds. I believe 5. 3 rounds in the first half, and then 2 rounds now in the second, where he's bought the R8. 1 kill. So he's 1 for 5. Let's see if we can improve those odds. Kalinka, I want 1 more R8 kill in this round. He's gonna get the chance. It doesn't quite hit the headshot. No, he's dead. So still 1 for 5, maintaining that ratio here with the R8. It's a great bait, but I don't think it's a great gun for the kills.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately not. Like I say, particularly at this level, people counter-strafe an awful lot when they're fighting against weapons like that are like the single-shot weapons and just tapping away at you. It makes it so, yeah, you have to do what he did in the previous round, like pre-fire the angle, you know, charge up the old shot, and then it has to be perfect, or you have to, like, just hope they walk into your crosshair, which, just take a deagle, man, because that's kind of how you make the deagle work as well. As you just see there from Flarich, it takes him a good couple of shots. Probably only getting 1.5 R8 shots off there. I don't think I really need to explain why the R8 is inferior to the deagle, to be honest. Yeah.
Everyone knows. Everybody knows. The only advantage is the 8 bullets as opposed to 7, and that is you can't even get those 8 bullets out usually before you're dead. jLab, nice shot with the deagle. That's quite impressive. We'll see if Flip can win this 1v2. He doesn't have armor, but he does have the rifle. Does he have a spot on MHL? He's just going to go for the hop shot. He's got to get the kill. Doesn't quite have it. Furlan, Guardian Angel, keeps him alive. A 4K in the round for Furlan as well. And that is going to be XCOM Ego doubling up their opponent's scoreline, making it 12-6. Because that round was relatively expensive, it's actually nice impact for the Hellraisers, considering the guns they had. They take 3 players down, they get the bomb plant. This is potentially the start of a comeback, because if they get the kills here, it's going to string out the economy for XCOM Ego. If they manage to win this round, there's a chance to start to close this gap. But this is what I would say is really their last big attempt at a swing round.
Yeah, it's starting to get scary, right? It's starting to get to a bit of a, not necessarily like a point of no return, but a point of difficult return. Either way.
Yeah.
Groovy going to get aggressive. He gets 1. Immediate trade coming back in, so not a bad result here. Some good mid control for Hellraisers to work with. They seem vaguely aware of the fact that there is an AWP nearby, and it would be wise to think so. Oh, crack angle, flashes coming in. MHL actually going to get tagged up there. So more and more chip damage being done here onto the CT side. Going to make it very difficult to hold them back. Fiku, meanwhile, has pushed up long. There's no one long, guys. They're all short. Get ready, get prepared. It's going to be hard, however, because Oscarish on the 1 HP rotating in. And still no kills coming in for the CT side as yet. Waiting for a head was MHL. Oh, look at this, Fiku and Furlan coming in. MHL, clean round from him. Oh, and what can you do? What can you do when they're patient, when they give you the control, when they let you think you're in a winning position, and then they just all chime in at the same time, and MHL's hitting shots like that to boot as well.
I was like blowing the damn out, right? As soon as the first kill comes in, it's just everyone's dead. Nothing.
So impressed. So impressed right now from XCOM Ego.
Oh, there's a spot in the player mid. Can jLab get away from this? He can indeed. She does a lot of damage onto Grubby. One thing I will note is we haven't seen as many aggressive flanks from Grubby this time. He's been a little bit more timid about it, and it's the right read, right? Because Hellraisers, they love that kind of Grubby, aggressive style where it just gets messy on the fights, and it's a wise move not to do it. We saw him doing it in the previous CT side that we saw them play. Not so much this time around. MHL flashed out. He's gonna have to fall. He does have a player here who can potentially turn around and support, and as a result, they're not going to be able to take mid control on him. These 2 players have to float out to compensate Catwalk. That's a nice Molotov, but they're gonna rush right through. They were going for the boost up. Kalinka has found the timing. It was a bold play for sure, but it's worked out beautifully for them, and that should deliver not just a bomb plant, but very potentially a round, as I don't think the retake's going to want to happen with double ops.
Yeah. 100%. And they are indeed backing away. But yeah, not much. I mean, the smokes are nice, but a Molotov would be really, really helpful to kind of like facilitate those AWPs, someone to walk into an angle. But yeah, not going to happen. And sure, they have money. They could throw themselves at it, but not going to opt to do so. They've got rounds to play with as well, but really, really patient. And I think a big difference here is they actually have a lot of respect for what Hellraisers can do. Now, I'm going to opt to take the fights here, and they lose both their AWPers for it. Oscarish is around to save 1. And like I say, they do indeed have money, so should be able to get a double AWP setup out. Once again, Oscarish, skin of his teeth, able to survive. But he brings this AWP into the next round. However, Hellraisers, looking pretty good there. Looking pretty good indeed. It's a bit of a solo play. It's a bit of a timing play as well. Going in their favor, has to be said. But they manage to get a 7th on the board. And yeah, they'll perhaps give themselves a bit more room to work with now and maybe start to close the gap. Pause coming in as well. Could be from either side, honestly. I think it would be interesting to get an idea of what they're talking about as well, these two teams, and how they break these kind of things down. Because quite often in league games, in the early best of threes of online tournaments and things, teams don't really take a lot of pauses, and it's always confused me as to why. When you have so many to play with, just go for it, just work with it.
I'd imagine in this situation, it's likely motivated by Ego. They've got a coach in the server as well, so it might be time for him to offer some words of wisdom. But this is the potential swing, right? If they can win this, they can stop this comeback before it even happens. If they lose it, it's problematic. MHL gets aggressive. That's the difference maker. He gets a second kill as well. MHL on pace for the third. He's had it as well and can escape. MHL! Woo! Ruining everything. They try and chase him down, but one by one they falter and fall to his AWP. And this man is not to be messed with. The aggression is beautiful. The first pick is great. It's even better as he bails on out. And before they even get started, Hellraisers, it's all over. This round is done.
That is a hell of a round in so many different ways. Then he goes and does that. But it's all good. Nice flash coming over the top. Clean finish for gJBUHFTV. But yeah, like, if you're a budding AWPer, playing Dust 2 is probably going to be doing something you're going to do an awful lot. So give that a good watch again, because there are so many good things. He gets aggressive, holds his angles really nicely while he's aggressive, right? And gets to, does well under pressure, which is something that comes with time. You can't really, there's no kind of formula. But he picks up the first two, he backs off, doesn't fully retreat. He backs off, he min-maxes it perfectly, right? Gets a nice angle, gets the third. Then he backs off and jumps onto that ledge, of course, which again is a bit of tech, bit of movement to make sure you don't overshoot it, but really well done to just know when to retreat, know when he has to get aggressive and finds the timing, and then, of course, the flicks are on point. Just beautiful to watch from MHL. And unfortunately, on the Hellraisers side, what can you do? Not very much. They're going to be really frustrated by that and may well struggle to come back from it. We shall see here, though. A nice start into this round. The mid to B split, of course, catching the player aggressive ahead of the smokes, catching the player holding in at window, and catching the flank as well. Not today, gJBUHFTV. He was like, I want to go for one. I've not flanked in a while, guys. However, it's going to be down to Oscarish in on the site. Oh, and MHL as well, chiming in to help out. Pete comes in, perfect timing, finds the AWP. Second from Oscarish, has to go for the reload, though. Oh, Crushy, no. Your window of opportunity, he's missed it. He lets him get the reload off. And Oscarish just able to play in and around the default box. Oh, my goodness, so well done.
That's such a misplay from the scaffolding player. I think it was Kalinka. Has the bomb, needs to get that bomb into sight. It's the biggest priority, and he's trying to just toss it over because he doesn't want to actually get off of his position. But in doing so, first of all, he shows the bomb to the player who's CT watching in on it, and then he also drops it not quite into the lip, realizes he has to go forward to push it, and exposes himself to that offer and gets caught. So that, it's a major misplay. Klink is going to try and make up for it. He's got to pick into this round. They've got some aggressive control, but now he is dead. MHL again coming back in with the AWP and retaking some control towards mid. So Hellraisers, their first foray into mid is rebuffed. And now how do they adjust? MHL's coming back into the angle. This could be another big opportunity for him to find some kills. There's one. That's the bomb drop. Now they have to contest with him. And they've just got a scout on the other side to fight it. This is so tough. And MHL at this point is just bullying them up. Not going to connect on that one. Honestly thought he would have. But the nade will do not any damage. Might have been a bit more. He's looking for this XCOM boost, or Xbox boost, and he's found that, indeed. If you just keep giving him 1v1s in mid, he might just find the ace. He's on pace for it, but no. Shut down at the last moment by Crushy. Still, MHL has done all the heavy lifting in this round, and Oscarish will be able to just carry it right over the line. That's going to be the game. XCOM Ego, phenomenal. MHL really came online for those last few rounds and dominated. And it's going to be a strong second Dust 2 game of the day. I am very impressed with the way they play this map.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. And I think we're particularly surprised with kind of comparing it to the first time around against Gamer Legion. We expected their CT side to be good coming into this, but their T side looked kind of rigid. And there were places in which Gamer Legion exploited that and made use of it and brought a bit of chaos in, and they weren't able to deal. But Hellraisers got a really, really quick read on them. And yet Ago changed things up and were able to keep the pacing in their favor and able to keep the rounds in their favor. Really, really impressed. And yeah, like you say, MHL, just a great game towards the end from him to just really, really shut them out. But overall, a really nice team effort and not getting too crazy. A little bit more respect coming in. Groovy was flanking like every single round against Gamer Legion, but into that game, he recognized it didn't work out as much. So really good stuff from them. Yeah.
Indeed. We've got one more game coming up, folks, so stick with us. That one is going to be Movistar taking on Fate. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the SEA Mountain Dew League, and we will be right back.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low, but I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's Molly for the melancholy. Cody, fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xanny, still I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, why you leaving me? Put me on my misery.
I was born like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
We come alive in the nighttime.
fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me. It's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive, come alive, come alive in the nighttime. Come alive, come alive, come alive in the nighttime. Come alive, come alive, come alive in the nighttime.
Come alive. Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there. And I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away. A fire in the dark. I know that you won't be again. Right from the start, I see the end. A world torn apart, but I know we're meant. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away. A fire in the dark. I know that you won't be again.
yeah. Ay, push start, ay. Ball so hard, ay. Raise the bar, ay. Turn into a star, ay. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard? Ayy. What about too hard? Ayy. About too hard, yeah. I'm killing your favorite rapper, it's minimum effort. Yeah, your corpse getting severed. The industry dry, it's a desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight double use, that's my letter. Don't got no snakes, only ladders, ayy. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping is basic, skipping is classic. Stay out of trouble, now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished the scene, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we counting them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. But very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard? Ayy. What about too hard? Ayy. About too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this. Don't like surprises. I cause a crisis. Man, I'm a scientist. With the music, I spice things. Up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my niggas from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard? Ayy. What about too hard? Ayy. About too hard.
I've been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side, I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. my heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you. Carolina skies in the night, floating by your side. I fell up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, 'cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 shooting through the clouds, I know it's alright. It's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night. One more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're in with the fourth and final game of the day. We're on a full broadcast today, baby. We got all the games coming in, of course. And this one I'm kind of excited for, right? Movistar Riders have been taking some names recently over on Road to Rio, coming into the MDL. Surely it should be a cakewalk. But Fate, I think they've got some relatively strong names here and an awful lot of potential behind them, maybe to take some heads. But Movistar Riders, yeah, really in their groove at the moment. Oh, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary.
Well, you know, when you can be at home drinking Coke, right? You got all the mojo behind you for Movistar. I did enjoy that little episode. That was with Movistar, right? I'm not crazy.
I think so.
The meme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be on point. They're definitely the big dogs to take down here. Fate, a move up team from Advanced last season, have been doing a decent run of it, but it's still been tough for them in the Mountain Dew League. Obviously, that first season of a move up is frequently about survival as much as it is about placement. And we've seen that a little bit. Fate sitting at an 0-1 record. This is their second go around, but it's not going to get any easier taking on Movistar. Movistar, meanwhile, also 0-1 in the MDL, so maybe there's some vulnerability here, but we'll see. It's a decent setup for the first take, and Martin is going to get one. He's got a second as well. That's a nice play here. Bodies dropping one after another, but Steel and Low will manage to bring it back within the realm of possibility. They haven't committed. It's 30 seconds into the round, and 3 players are down from either side.
Yeah, a messy one there to begin, and now the mind games begin. They're going to be waiting, holding behind, trying to spot out, see if there's a quick flank coming in. It's actually just quick rotations onto the site itself from Fate here, and pushing down long, getting all the information. It'll be a very slow portion here in the round while Movistar Riders figure things out, get the bomb down, one would presume, unless Fate pick things up and the fight begins. But they're unfortunately taking a wrong turn here on the CT side of things. Not sure whether they realize it. They do indeed. There's no one around short. Everybody's dead. They've either A, gone down connector, or B, making their way over towards the site of the same name.
Better go.
Oh, yes,
Better
but the
go.
flank coming in at the right time. It does look like it. Taps coming through. Lowell spins around. Almost actually finds that frag. Nikki does lucky to not fluff it up, and it's all now going to be down to Steel. Low HP bars for all 3 players here. He's got 2 flashes to work with. Recognizes there's at the very least 1 behind, and now wants to try and move into a slightly better angle. Unfortunately, I think timing might get the better of him. Oh, gets the fade away and through the smoke as well. Takes down Nikki in the final second of the defuse. Oh, Movistar Riders, it comes close, but by the skin of their teeth, they will get the pistol on the board. That's gotta hurt.
Oh man. What a play from Steel, just to play that perfectly, to get the smoke down, plant the bomb out in the open so that he knows the player has to be exposed off of it, knows that timing based on what his teammates in, uses his flashbangs to allow himself to get back in towards heaven, and then from there just plays it to absolute perfection. Part of it comes down to luck of actually being able to find that tag on the player in smoke, of course. There's always an element of that, but it's a good run. It's a very nice play from Steel.
Ooh. Close, but no cigar on the scout. Hen gonna have to back away and has to be very careful here. Good chunk of damage done, though. And the Deagles and the scout, always dangerous. Really cannot write them off. We've seen a great deal of that across the course of the day. Hen just able to survive a little while longer. We got Martin coming in from behind, spraying down with the Deagle. Again, doing so much damage, but no frag as yet. There's another player in the connector in the form of Kaluba, and he'll get himself an AK for his trouble. Another tag coming in. The kill this time around for Hen. Oh, goodness. Movistar Riders is beginning to crumble. Breaking apart at the seams. They will bring it back into a 3 versus 3, but another flank coming in. Are they going to be expecting it? Nope. Nikki gets another, and he's very quickly just going to reposition, and that pressure constantly going to be on from behind. They don't seem too bothered, though. Just pushing forwards here on the Movistar Riders side of things. Duplicate, despite being blind, gets a quick one in. Mopos now has to find all 3 to finish things off. Nikki in from behind. There's enough time to go B just about. And Nikki's not quite prepared for it. 10 seconds left. Not going to be able to track him down and catch him off. Does get a read into the fact that it is indeed going to be B, but now the 1v1, as raw as it comes between these two players.
This has been wild. We've had a couple of these spicy rounds. There's the drop. Sometimes you see players fake it, but he's got a good read on Mufasa's position. He's going to catch him as he swings out. So Nikki able to win the 1v1 this time around. And these 2 rounds have come down to about as much of a hairline as you possibly could. There's so little separating the teams in both of them, but Fate do come out on top in this one. And of course, just the way it tends to work out, if you win that second round force, you're in a much better economic situation than your opponents. It's almost better than winning the pistol. So for Movistar, there's a decision to be made here. Are they going to try and force back in and keep that pressure up? They don't have a lot of cash to work with. Or are they going to take their eco here and just try and see it through into the actual proper gun rounds?
That's the decision. That's kind of the key thing.
Where do you
the
fall
CT
on the
economy is
philosophy?
in life, I'm quite a conservative person. I don't take many risks.
Okay.
Which can be a good thing, but also can be somewhat of a flaw. Sometimes it is good to take risks. You never know. It might end up working out in your favor in a big way. And I think for a team like Movistar Riders, taking big risks could work out for them. The way that they've been playing recently, it could pay off. But then there's a whole, and I think they themselves are a testament to this with recent results. They themselves may well get caught off by the fact that they are not quite ready for Fate. They're not quite prepared. They haven't played against them very much before. So I feel like they also have to be careful and show a bit of respect, particularly with what's just happened in the last round. Obviously, we're here with a technical pause, as one of the Fate players has dropped out. But to make a long story short, I would go for it, actually, in this case. Because I think the CT economy is weak enough that even if you don't win the round, you're going to keep doing damage. You're going to keep the pressure on. So I would go for it in this case, actually. Maybe even spice things up, drop some weapons across.
I do think this is one of the rare occasions where it makes sense to try and keep the pressure up, just because that CT economy is so vulnerable that if you rock in with Mac 10s and just go for a really fast play, you might wind up facing off against Famai, and then you've got a situation where you can kind of break that first couple of kills, get a couple rifle upgrades, have a post plant, and it's very viable. And if you break that economy at this juncture, it's tough. For Fate, obviously, they've got to try and commit into it. We'll see when we eventually get their 5th player back what's going to happen. I'm not quite sure what the cause of the delay is, but we seem to have a disconnect issue, so hopefully that'll be resolved in just a few moments. Will kind of be unfortunate for them if they lose their perhaps momentum here, if you will. We've already got the player back in. There we go. So no problems here. Guns can be dropped over. It shouldn't be a big issue. They should be able to share the wealth with Nikki at least. Now we see if Fate can turn that wealth into a second round win. It looks like Movistar, well, we'll see after the pause actually fades out. But based on the deagle buy, the P250, I don't think they're going to invest here. I think they just want to get the guns.
Yeah, I mean, that's also fair enough, right? There's a good argument for that, maybe somewhere down the middle. On some of those richer players, Eastor will save everything he's got, loves to go for that AWP, and has been playing some of the best Counter-Strike of his life recently, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll hopefully see them pull things back once they get the rifles in play. But for now, looking good for Fate, although got to be careful here. It is going to be a lot of numbers, a lot of bodies they've got to deal with, but a nice 2-man setup as they come creeping straight into the crosshairs. Easy as you like for Nikki and Martin. And Steel and Eastor not really got anything left to work with, honestly. Yeah.
They might get a plant out of this, though. Horns moving back around.
Yeah, I think here's them, right? Although, they plant on the other side of the site. They just use a bit of brain power.
Kalubra's coming up. They just got to stick it right now and hope for the best. And that's exactly what they're going to do. But if they get the numbers in, and they do, successful round. Yes, they didn't do any damage, but they got that bomb plant. And considering the circumstances, not the worst thing in the world at all.
Yeah, there's really an argument to be made there for Fate, I think, actually, to point some fingers at them and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. This should not be happening, sir. Yeah, even letting the bomb plant go. Sure, you're going to be up against a rifle buy anyway, but now you've just made it a lot more comfortable. that extra $800 will mean that we've got 5 AKs with full utility, which I don't think would have been quite the case. If you look at how much they've got left in the bank and whatnot, I don't think it would have been perfect from them. All the trimmings, as Bardolph would say. So yeah. No AWP, though, interestingly enough. Eastor, I think, definitely did lag behind a little bit in terms of his buy, making the decision, asking what the plan was. Not going to go for the AWP. And I think ultimately it comes down to the fact that there's not going to be an AWP on the other side. And that's often what an overpass T-side AWP is for, is to just kind of nullify the presence of a CT AWP a little bit. And it's not here. So what's the point, right? You're up against SMGs and a Scout, a FAMAS. Get aggressive with those AKs, and you shall be successful. Speak of the devil, and he indeed does appear. Mopos gets the first 10 as well, tagged up here, so not looking too good for Fate.
Not looking good indeed. Pressure on here in a big way, and it seems like the mass is forming over towards B. There wasn't a lot of information since there was aggression sort of both sides of the map at the same time, but they are bringing a third player down here, so it's a decent read. Nicky's going to be able to get an upgrade as well from that player who faltered. So they'll have weapons to work with at the least, but still with Alex up towards the upper site. They've got that pressure relief valve, if you will. Kalubra gets one. The trade is instantaneous. Nicky's going to force into the fight, but Steel's up to the task. He'll be caught from the barrel player. Wasn't expecting the third to be in there, and Martine actually gets a second and a third! Martine steps up big when his number is called. Now all the pressure onto Alex, but only 24 seconds within which to do it. He's got the first, not the second. A big 4K from Martine to turn this round on its head and take full control.
Uh-oh. That's not good for Movistar Riders. That is a round that they should have had in the bag. Just in terms of the superior weaponry and the way that they were maneuvering through the rounds, but not able to deal with the solo play. Sure, credit to Martine. Brilliant stuff from him. Movistar Riders really going to feel the burn, of course. Now onto the Deco. Eastor, I think definitely next time around wants to pull his AWP out and get it rolling, get it working. Feels most confident when he's got it in play. Alex was waiting for the peek, gets the headshot. Beautiful stuff. Love to see it, but now he's left to do pretty much all the work. Eastor has picked up a deagle off of a fallen comrade. There is only one player in on the site itself. Duplicate tipping his fedora as he picks up the frags. His ABI really confusing me there. Alex, though, getting another shot in here with the deagle. Careful, guys. He's hitting his shots, but unfortunately not good for a third. Fate will get their fourth. Surviving with the bare minimum of 3. And I mean, Martine is absolute flying right now. 9 frags, 10K. Beautiful stuff.
Really is. And I think they're going to need a little bit of that individual star power to get over a team like Movistar, right? They need a player popping off, and that's Martine right now. If he can keep this up, if he can keep this level up, it's a huge asset for them to play around. The buy will be coming back. As you suspected, the AWP is out for Eastor. They could... Alex isn't buying yet, which makes me think maybe they're discussing the double up. That I don't love. I don't think there's much of a justification for it on the T side, but Deposit has come through again. Duplicate also hasn't bought, so we may be seeing Duplicate drop back out of the server. I'm a little concerned here, just based on what we've seen before. Hopefully that'll be resolved in a moment. It will be the full rifles outside of Eastor over on the Movistar side, so I do like that decision making. Let's just hope that Duplicate doesn't have a problem here. It's always the last game. It's always the last game, Scriv. It has to be the last game.
It always is. We have had a very smooth run of things today. You know, players getting in good time, everybody here, everybody around. And this one was pretty smooth getting into it as well. But